Okay, and we can get back into this. Alright, and ignore all of these saves. I might be recording a thing. That's fine. Load anyways. That's not what I wanted to do. Alt F4ing the game real fast before that loads, because I actually need to switch the mods. I've got a run I'm doing off stream that has an entirely different mod setup. It's been a pleasure to see you play Core Keeper. You don't really like RimWorld, so you're going to be going now. I'll keep an eye out for what you stream. Everyone have fun. No problem. I do play a lot of games. RimWorld is one that's reoccurring, but I played stuff like Project Zomboid, do a lot of Tycoon, City Builders, Settlement Builders. I've done Terraria in the past, so, you know, the idea is hopefully everyone can find something they like. But yeah, we've also been playing a lot of Coral Island. That's got about one stream left in it, because I'm taking the last bit off there. Okay, so I'm going to load the game again. And are going to hit that, and I'm going to say, load mod list from save. Yes. Cool. And that's just because I'm using different mods on the save I'm doing off stream, which will be eventually dropped on YouTube as an edited video. I'm kind of trying to hopefully have that edited and get that all sorted out so that you do have that as content you can tune into while I'm away for TwitchCon. We'll see if it's done in time, because that's a big question mark. Considering there's only a little bit over a week till then, till I travel out, because I'm leaving about a week beforehand to visit family. So you've never seen RimWorld before? For those who don't know what RimWorld is, so this is a colony building game that the gist of it is you get plunked down on this world called a RimWorld. It is a backwater, awful, terrible world that is full of sadness and unhappiness and awful, and you just try and survive. That said, the whole time it's almost like there's a dungeon master sitting in the background who has a personal vendetta against you. You must have dissed them once, and they actively try and do what they can to ruin your day. Now, we are doing a very atypical run in this, in that we have what's called the hospitality mod, so we can kind of run our place like it's a hotel. And then on top of that, we are on a special map called an archipelago, which is not normal map. Which normally have like stone and sand, or like stone and metal and all that to work with, and I don't have that. I got to trade for it. All right, got 4 desperate refugees that I'm going to ignore for right now because our food is terrible. RimWorld, you also miss City Skylines? Yeah, I did a little bit of City Skylines maybe a month back. City Skylines 2. There's a good chance I'll probably do more City Skylines here in the future. It is one of those games that I kind of bring up from time to time. Alright, so we've got the components. Do I actually have enough steel to turn our freezer on? How much are you? So you're 90 steel each? Yes. No, I remember. These aren't being done not because... Okay. Those aren't being built because of lack of materials for them. It's I've got the one wind turbine and some batteries. I need to wait for the geothermal to be up. Now, to give you an idea of some of the things about this run that is atypical compared to a normal run, is I am running a mod called No Research and Random Research mods. So basically, normally in the game, I could go here and say, I would like deep drilling, click, and I have deep drilling research. You'll notice this button is grayed out. I can't do it. I have given the keys of what I research over to RNG. So you'll notice, for example, I am on a tile that has no river. I have a water mill generator. That doesn't work unless you have a river. So it does make that all go on. But unlike a lot of settlement builder, city builder style games where you can be very formulaic about what happens, this one has a lot of RNG that goes into it. You'll be attacked at different intervals by random assaults and all that. You'll randomly have sickness hit your colony. You'll have all sorts of different unexpected things happen. Okay, so you're upset that there's not enough beds, so let's go ahead and get that sorted. So we can go ahead for right now and say that's for the guests so you don't complain about it. But yeah, so what we're trying to do at the moment is I need to get the geothermal power set up as one possibility. And then if we can get deep drilling, that would be a major boon for us. Because with deep drilling, I can start pulling up steel, and then we have effectively steel on our map. You really enjoyed Crime Scene Cleaner? Yeah, no, we had a good time with that one. We also beat Crime Scene Cleaner where we got, you know, roll credits. I actually, after that stream, did go through and play more Crime Scene Cleaner to the point that I actually got all the achievements knocked out. So found all the hidden areas not, which we only had missed like 2-3 hidden areas in the whole thing. And then there was like 1 or 2 achievements I had missed that you do special things. But one of the things that makes RimWorld unique and interesting is if you look at our characters, they have all these needs that make them happy or sad. So, like, for example, Sentient Cookie here used to be married to Conrate, but then Conrate cheated on Sentient Cookie. So, Sentient Cookie is really pissed off about that. But generally he's doing pretty good otherwise because we have very good situation. Their kid is happy. Their kid was born healthy and all that stuff. So they just had a baby and everything, and they're happy about that. We also had someone console them, which is a special ability, which is directly countering the fact that they've been cheated on. And then just the same, we've got Conrad. Oh, right. Darstrider here was a high mate. So has a psychological bond with them. Yeah, so there's lots of stuff here. For the record, we have all the DLC running, so if you're like, oh my god, there are so many systems, how on earth do you possibly keep track of it? This is an atypical playthrough. We're doing a lot of stuff. We don't have that many mods running, but we do have some mods running. Oh, good. The people who are staying here have a nice stay, and they left us some money. So that's good. Which that is a mod. But we are running all the DLC, so this is one of those games I recommend if you go to play RimWorld. Don't just grab all the DLC, turn them all, and say, let's do this, let's learn. All the DLC are additive to the game, so they add more systems on more systems on more systems to give you more depth of play. And there's enough in the base game to get you started, so I actually definitely recommend, unless they're like on an extremely good sale, which almost never happens, just buy the base game, play the base game, and when you're like, I'm having a good time, but I could do a little more, then get your first DLC. And then, you know, when you're at that same place, like, I've really been having fun, I could use a little more, then, you know, again, get your next DLC, you get the idea. Of the DLC, I would definitely recommend Biotech or Ideology as your first DLC. To me, Royalty is the one that adds the least to the game. It does add stuff, it's not a bad DLC, but if we're talking like apples to apples, Biotech and Ideology give you the most replayability, and then I would say Anomaly and Royalty, Anomaly and Royalty don't give you that much additional replayability. They're both good, and I actually, for me, Anomaly is my favorite DLC, but I do recognize from a replayability standpoint, Anomaly doesn't bring much. Okay, so a child, Cosmine, has arrived and would like to join the colony. She is willing to contribute but will not leave voluntarily, claiming to have nowhere else to go. You can choose to turn her down, send her away. However, your colonists will be disturbed at sending someone away in need. They're a 10-year-old child. I'm going to say yes, but before we go in... Oh, I need to get my queue open. If you would like to have colonists named after you, you can put your name in there. A delicate body modder who is passionate about melee is not a good mix. That said, that doesn't mean I can't work with this colony. Delicate is a pretty awful negative trait for anyone who's potentially going to be taking hits. So I am going to accept this person despite my better judgment. They're definitely not going to be a melee pawn though. I also don't remember where all my equipment is stored. I'm coming to the realization... Oh, here it is. Oh, good. We do actually have a gun in here. It's in rough shape, but that's fine. So schedule. So we're going to go ahead. You are a child, so your full schedule is recreation, because they'll only do learning stuff during recreation. And we will put you in the home zone so that you stay near base at all times. And let's make sure I don't have any... Yeah, I don't need that in my home zone. There we go. Okay, that way we keep the children inside as much as we can for safety. Let's go ahead and also, for the school desk, if I make that out of stone... what stone do I have the most of? Limestone? Okay. If we make this... Actually, let's just make it out of marble. If we make this out of marble, it does appear I can do so. And can we make all of you out of marble? Yes, we can. So we're making an area for our children to learn. because if we do that, they get better benefits down the road. The downside is I do need more places. We are basically 100% entirely out of food, which is not what you want, as you could probably imagine. So we're going to kill all the alpaca on the map. Do I have anyone assigned to hunt? Not on a real level. So let's go ahead and get your responsibilities sorted out. So you're basically terrible at everything, as is typical of a kid. So for hunting, well, if we run out of food, I will manually assign someone to go hunt. Would it be easier to tame and slaughter? You need food to tame, and that's the problem. To tame, you have to go up with like some vegetation to feed them, and then they may or may not join, and then you slaughter them. Alright. But if you're wondering why this map is made almost entirely out of wood, and you're like, wait a second, why would you ever do that? That's terrible. Correct. Where's my stone and steel? That's the problem. That's the difficulty of this map. Is just, you lack building materials. Even the wood, the only reason I have wood is I have multiple dryads who are producing wood, and that's just what they've got going on. And then we've got these grow zones. And unfortunately, we did lose colonists the last time, so you'll see like this one is available to be connected. Alright, so we've got our grow person. That's Dragon Repairman. I believe you're assigned to this one, so that's good. We need a second person who's set to grow. I could assign it to Groot's Twig. That would cut into our research time. I'm going to make it our new kid here. They're going to do Dryad things as available. I can't do that because they're not an adult. Fair enough. Alright, let's go ahead and get that name in on that pawn. So our new kid in the town is Kalaria Star. So let's go ahead and get you named. So welcome, Kalaria Star, and you are a transhumanist, which is not going to serve you well here. So we're gonna go and... Ooh. You are not gonna lose much, ideology. Quest expired. We weren't gonna go rescue that person. So it's gonna be some work to get you convinced over. Alright, well, in that case, so we don't want to have more than one tree on Groot's. Or sorry, on Dragon Repairman. I could definitely put Darth on this. It's not my biggest win, but Darth is a pacifist, so isn't going to be fighting a lot. Why did you go down? What's your deal? Major food poisoning, and you are missing a lung, which I didn't remember. Please rescue the down person. Alright, because we want to keep those going because that's a source of wood. You're stubborn, apparently? Hey, it happens. Alright, but so far, the colony's been going well. I've been debating waking up the anomaly. The only reason I've been hesitating is I will need places to contain the things that go bump in the night, which means I need strong walls. Wood walls are not strong walls, and I can only build strong walls on land, and therein lies the problem. So I've got an area over here I could toss them, but there's a high chance raids would attack that and break down the walls and deal with that. It still might be worth doing. The problem is, once I poke this thing, we're committed. Like, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. Alright, we've got another one of the trees. I think I will. We do have some block. I believe granite are the strongest. We don't have much of it, though. Yeah, so it'll be 3 wide for the containment spot. Here, we can do it this way, actually. I'm going to try and make it take as little space as possible. It's still fully functional. Okay. So I'm going to build 2 or 3 of these rooms real fast. Wanted prisoners. I can't accommodate prisoners right now. And the sad vagabonds are just going to have to be on their own for a moment. The good news is we're about to get our rice back up. Oh, that's right. Didn't we lose all of our stuff to a cold snap or something, and that's why our food is in bad shape? Alright, meanwhile, I am going to have someone get a little bit more active on the hunting front. Alright, Kalaria, any time the animals get too close, they're all yours. So as long as the animals are eating food down here, they get to live. The moment they get too close, Kalaria Star, make sure you're on pest control. That's what you're doing. So that rabbit up there, it's not going to be here much longer. Alright. I'm not going to be able to help them. Food is too much of a problem. I'm trying to hold out just a little longer. Building granite wall. Alright, let's get someone to go down here. Oh, we can grab Groot's. Grab your weapon. Alright, we need to go out of our way. So, Groot's. Go hunt that. Dragon, go hunt this. And I guess we'll leave it at that. I'm not going to chase him around with a chain shotgun. And of course, the game is just like, even though you assign them to hunt, they're like, never mind. It's a shame we lost that lung. There, finally. Because we need the food. Alright, so that should let her cook. Butcher that. And get us a little bit more food. Because we just need the food to carry over until we get the potatoes. Like, this rice will give us a bit more time, but that's not enough rice to tide us over in the long term. Meanwhile, we should have an Argarlian seed. We can put that down there. And we'll probably end up switching what those are producing pretty soon to something else. I am leaning on the dryads to make this work. Yeah, so that'll be good here in a second. You butchered it, but where did all its food go? Did you, like, literally just already eat the thing? Which is very plausible, actually. Alright, I need that food in here, man. Okay, so the good news is we did kill both of them. It's just the one's gonna take a minute. That's fine. So we'll have Sentient Cookie Butcher because we are running into a situation where we just don't have enough food. Wild Woman wanders in that we can potentially tame. They are a chemical interest, psychically dull person who is good with animals and crafting and shooting. I'm probably going to say no, because food is scarce right now, and chemical interest can be pretty obnoxious. It's nowhere near as bad as chemical fascination. Oh, I have a second wind turbine. I forgot about that. Let's make bad choices. Zone, remove the roof there, and allow building the ACs. That way we can turn this into an actual operating freezer. So that way any food we do get stays longer. Yeah, and we've got the food ready to harvest, so as long... Like, we should be able to get a little bump in our food tomorrow. I've got a whole bunch of food that's at 60-ish%. That should get better over time. We got some stallions on the map to eat. Apparently, that alpaca, this person finished off, so it was trying to say it's not mine. Why so big? Because we are doing hospitality, so I'm going to have times when like 11 people roll into town, and I'm going to have to feed them all. So it is going to be a thing where my food needs are going to whiplash around a lot. That's part of why we actually get ourselves in trouble, is just suddenly I'm having, 20 people in a colony with 6 people who are actually mine, and have to keep everyone fed and happy. Who is our construction person? Conrad. Oh, right, you're working on that. Cool, and that's basically all of our granite. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to say structure, slate, and do the exact same thing here, but slate. And what I'm doing down here real fast is I am trying to build containment rooms, because I'm going to wake up the anomaly. And we could use the containment rooms to keep all the, keep a bunch of the anomaly stuff in here. The downside, like I said, is with them all the way over there, I don't think I'll be able to keep the containment rooms inside the protected part of my base, realistically. I mean, this is probably a terrible idea. We're gonna try to anyways. Putting this much of the map inside your defensive perimeter is not a good idea. And the reason it's not a good idea is then what ends up happening is when you have, like, different types of drop raids and all that, it means there's a higher chance that drop raid drops inside your defensive perimeter. Alright, so I got a combat supplier. Which is good, because I should be able... Oh, actually, I have almost no money. That's fine, we'll figure it out. Alright. Royal Tribute Collector, that's fine as well. Okay, and you are apparently my only social person, so let's go take care of that. And afterwards with that, we'll try and do that. Alright, so get rid of the steel knife. Cursed multi-analyzer. I'm pretty sure we already got it. Let's... Before we get rid of that book, research. I don't have the multi-analyzer. Alright, so that's the good thing we double-checked, because I thought we did. So we actually have a book for the multi-analyzer we already have on hand, so we are researching that just by having it. We still have an auto pistol that's decent. We have an EMP grenades. So we've got good stuff. Unfortunately, they don't have food for us of any kind whatsoever. And do I already have a shield belt? I do not. So I would like the shield belt. The shield belt will be a really good addition for Sentient Cookie. So there's the shield belt. I can't afford it. Can I make that happen anyways? Not in a way I want to. Alright, no shield belt. That's fine. Sadly, they had no food. We did get some rice to make a couple of meals. Rice has very low nutrition, unfortunately. It grows fast, but low nutritional value, so it doesn't really help that much. We are getting wood steadily. I don't actually know... Okay, the wood's going to be building all this furniture. That's fine. We do have our desk built, so that's good news. So Claria Star will have themselves a place to get some education. We are waiting to get our ACs built, and then we're going to turn down the AC a whole lot. Yeah, so mostly this run we're stuck waiting on construction materials. We're building this. Once I get these 4 rooms built, I'm gonna awaken the monolith. What that will do is that will cause us to get far more anomaly-type enemies, as opposed to, like, the traditional walks on the map and shoot you. You still get the regular raids. But, I very much enjoy the anomaly content. It's just different. That said, I have no idea what to expect with the interactions of anomaly on a map like this. Stuff like the Revenant won't matter. The stuff like Revenants, Devourers, those kind of things will be just normal units to deal with. The Noctil event will be interesting because it'll have so many, like, such a limitation on where they can fall in. So we'll see what happens. Guest has nothing to eat. Well, they should have thought about that before they showed up. Alright, so do you have more wild animals in the map? Okay. Alright, so let's hunt these horses. Get ourselves a bite to eat. Okay. Please, for the love of everything, actually hunt the things. Cool. Because it's right into the whole situation where they spend that time and then no one actually does kill anything. They run around, they shoot a little bit, and then they walk away. Why are you sleeping out here? Oh, right. Are any of those beds available? No. So it's complaining about not having enough guest beds. I do wish with the hospitality there was a way to be like, hey, here's how many beds I've got. Stop trying to use more than that. A rat has self-tamed. Cool, the rat will die. Alright, once we get these animals butchered, that gives us some immediate food. Okay, we are chipping away at Glaria Star's ideology to get her into the same ideology as the rest of the colony. That is a thing you kind of need to do. If you end up having multiple ideologies in your colonies, it ends up, like, sometimes they're, like, fairly benign ones, it's fine. Like, if you have, like, collectivist versus whatever, that can be kind of a non-issue. But if you have any ones that have any real consequence, it ends up being a real big pain. Alright. So let's run a power wire down to get our ACs up and running. And our ACs are going to be set to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, so a pretty decent amount below freezing. Did you send another group? I already have, like, 7 people here. I don't know where you're planning on sleeping, because I cannot accommodate you, nor am I going to try. Because it's not my fault that you showed up and we said, hey, we got room for 6. And you said, what about 30? Can you do 30? And the answer's no. I'm gonna make it work. There. You'll have terrible rooms now. We're doubling you up. We don't care what parties you're with. Everyone's sharing a room with everyone. Okay, so the good news is we actually got some meals down. We're getting close to getting our potatoes and our berries and all that sorted out. So pretty soon our food should start stabilizing. Otherwise, we're just kind of waiting on that steel. Didn't we have a steel meteorite down here? Alright. So we are now allied with... Oh, I didn't realize we're gaining reputation. Yeah, so we maxed out our score for hospitality. And so they like us more to the point of ally, and they gave us a steel torture crown. Ooh, just everything I've already always wanted in my life. That's certainly what I want to do, is wear a crown that cuts into my head and makes me have pain. Thanks, man. That's what true friends give each other. All right. Okay, so we've got a raid rolling in of a bunch of people. So we got 5 people, all melee. They're all wasters. That'll probably work out pretty well for me, because they're gonna have to go running across. You are carrying a baby. I'm going to need you to not do that. All right. So they're all melee. Do you have go juice? I'm worried you're gonna have go juice. No one has go juice. Okay, so this should be relatively okay. It is an even fight so far as numbers. I have a decent defensive position. That said, we'll see how it goes. A lot of us are not particularly good shots, and Claudia Steyer is a child. So, you know, that's a thing to consider. Opening shot, direct torso hit, and they're down. First one came by themselves and got shredded. We got a low psychic drone that's slowly going to be ruining our moods. Let's scooch the others over here. To reposition people. Hey, guest. Hey, guest. Hey. You should run away, guest. Alright, Sentient Cookie's trying to get over there to help. And we've got friendly fire. Because we're too far away. That's the one downside I'm learning, is I'm going to need to adjust where guests can go so that doesn't happen. Because I can't take control of the guest and be like, hey, you need to move. Yeah, so you got a bruise to your leg, and Sentient Cookie got a shot to the left hand. Yeah, we don't need a meanderist in this colony. Alright. Okay, so who is our doctor? I don't remember who that was. Not you. That's fine. So I'll tend to Sentient Cookie's hand injury real fast. We've got a war merchant who's rolling through town. Right. I'm going to need to get an actual hospital built somewhere. So that way we don't have to have people running real far to get medicine and all that. Maybe, like, put it over here or something like that. Alright. Yeah, it says a relatively perfectly fine run because I had to go the whole way around. I honestly would have taken them down without anyone getting hurt even, had we not been dealing with the guests.
What's the worst that could happen?
Alright, so we we're selling the torture crown because seriously I don't need it. They don't have any weapons I want. They do have some pemmican, which I'm going to buy because food is still rough. And pemmican gives me a little bit more time because I just need to buy myself a little bit of time to get all these berries out of here and all that. And then once the food stabilizes, we'll be good. Alright. And part of the issue is I do have my people spending so much time pruning the dryad trees. Like, literally, it's a fourth of their day when they do that. But that's my source of wood. My main source of wood. There's a reason I haven't got someone else going to the other dryad tree right now. Alright. Yeah, so we're trying to build some more rooms for the guests. And then I've got plans to set up some, like, move our storage room up here. So one, it's farther away from the raids, so I don't have to worry about them smashing this room up. And then two, to give it more space in general. Probably make this our ritual or ideology room or whatever, so I don't need very much stuff and I can leave the doors closed since I don't need them going in constantly. We used to have the people meditating regularly. We haven't kept up with it though in a while. I had to take too many people off of it to keep us alive. All right. And just a little bit more power line, and we'll have all of our ACs turned on. And then this food will last for a really long time. At which point, then it'll be good. If we make an abundance of food, we can just stockpile it. Which is what I'm gonna need. Once we get enough of the stockpile going, we'll also start making higher quality food to keep our guests even happier. Oh, and you probably noticed it says giant smoke cloud. Actually, you probably haven't noticed. Behind me, it says giant smoke cloud. Here, I can actually move where I'm at. Is that the one I'm looking for? Yeah. So we've got giant smoke cloud here. That's because I'm not going to bother loading the world map because it takes a minute. We had the event trigger of a giant smoke cloud, or the giant smoke cloud emitting machine, and unfortunately I am an island, so until I get drop pods, I can't reach it to get rid of it. So it is effectively a permanent part of our colony until such time as we have drop pods. At which point I can just drop pod someone over like a tile away from it, walk them on, and then, you know, take it out and then drop pod them back. I'll just have to send fuel, steel, and components for them to build the drop pod on the other side. Research known, flat screen television. Yep, so all the things our colony could use right now, between deep drill mining and all that, and they said, no, I want a flat screen TV. Give me the flat screen TV. I need my shows. Alright, we got most of that getting built over here. Alright. We got a gift from them. They really enjoyed their stay. They gave us 4 medicine. Love to see it. We got another group coming from hospitality. I will say, they are rolling in here fast. Like, it is clockwork one after the other popping in here. Not enough guest beds. What do you mean? I've got 4 people here. Oh, they probably haven't unassigned those yet. Smart pawns need to look at Twitch. Exactly. So they gave us a machine pistol. Let's go ahead and haul that. Oh, sorry, being hauled. Hauled that. I didn't realize it gets weaponed. We also gained relations because the one person got hurt in the raid. We patched them up. So we got relations for healing them, which is interesting considering we're the ones who got them in danger. But don't tell them that. It's fine. Alright, come on. Yeah, you've almost got that constructed. And we are ready to take another crack at converting Calaria. We're knocking her down about 5% per rotation. Yeah, so we got our flat screen TV. How expensive is a flat screen TV? I shouldn't do this. Oh, it's under recreation. 16 components and 140 steel. You can kindly go fly a kite. My goodness, that is a lot of components. That is quite literally exactly all of our components. That's more components than the geothermal generator. That's gonna be a big ol' nopity. Yeah, so we've got a little bit more power to run there. And then I'm going to want to end up getting lights into all this area and whatnot. because that'll help with our movement speed. We'll probably put advanced lights out here at some point to cover this whole area for making it easier to traverse. But right now, steel is a rare commodity. I got a couple blocks. Shamblers approaching. That's... Dude, I got 5 people, and one's a child. Well, 6 people. One's a child, one's a pacifist. Okay. So, I don't think we get away with them not aggroing us with as big of an area as we cover. So I do think we are going to try to... Why do you always have the baby? Okay. I do think we are going to try to engage this. I don't feel good about it, though. That is a lot of Shamblers, and Shamblers do actually have a decent amount of durability to them. The reason I'm trying to hope to engage them at this point is they're in the water, so they're going to have a bit of a movement speed penalty. So I am hoping we can take advantage of that. Now, ideally, I want them to spread out more so I can maybe get a fight of 4 of them and then a fight of 5 of them. I don't think we're going to get that lucky. There's not a lot of places for them to get stuck on because all of this is wide open. But I'm going to try and engage from the far corner here and see if I can split pull them. Okay, you have that range? Alright. Cool, so they're not in range yet. Disease plague on Conrad was prevented, thankfully. That is why I love that medicine. Come on, tag him. Come on, tag him. For the love of everything, tag him. This is not boding well that you're both just shooting shot after shot and neither of you can land a single hit. Please. Please. There you go. So we did split pull them more than I wanted on this part of it. Okay, so you get here, because it looks like they're coming from this side. Okay, so we're doing okay so far. It's a shame we didn't have the thing already activated, because then I could have potentially taken that one for a capture. So this will be alright. So we did split pull them, and it looks like we split pulled them by enough that we might walk away with no injuries, or only having one person have to take a little bit. Because the good news was, we did split pull them. For a moment I thought I got the whole group, it's like, okay. Because you can imagine if I barely got these ones down, these 3 would have probably gotten into melee range. You probably would have won without casualty, but, you know, someone could have easily lost some fingers and toes and whatnot. Alright. Yep, we should be good. The good news, at least the people with the bolt actions got a lot of firing practice, so hopefully it won't be nearly as bad last time. Alright, next time, I mean. Okay, so with that, allow, get all those out of here. We did get a little bit of bioferrite out of it. That's fine. Until we have anomaly turned on, like, not turned on, until we have anomaly active, there's not much I can do with that bioferrite. Okay. So we've got the berries. We've almost got all that built. Tired, recreation deprived, we're doing great. Oh, you're probably terrible social. Yeah, that's why the conversion's going so poorly. I forgot. Our person who actually had decent social died way earlier. Hey, don't go for the baby, please. Alright, so you're already converted. The high mate is converted. I do think it might be worth... The high mate usually has high social. Yeah, so we should go, and while it's going to upset Conrad a little bit, we're going to go ahead and give Darth Strider the moral guide position, because having that really high social will make a difference. We had gotten Darth Strider right at the end of yesterday's stream, so it doesn't surprise me that I hadn't yet done the conversion over for that. Because with that, now what I could do is Darth Strider can use the convert thing, and that should probably knock down, I would guess, like 10-15% on Calaria Star per attempt, which should go a long way. We gotta replace a component in that. And I don't want to put a land bridge, or I don't want to put a bridge between here yet. Once I start sealing off the perimeter, in some manner or another, then maybe. But if I go and I do that now, it's gonna be trouble. I'm gonna make the terrible mistake of starting this, because as you can see, the cost here is astronomical. We're talking like 4,000, 5,000 wood, and that's just to put down the bridge, and then I gotta put a wall on the bridge. But doing anything I can to control what directions the attacks come from is gonna be big, and I'm not gonna build that spot. That spot will be open. All right. You gave me a revolver and a sandstone club. Cool. All right. And I've got so much I want to build in this colony that all of it's going to take time. Because I keep fighting to just tempted to just queue that up as well. And that is going to be a mistake when I do that. And I'm going to do that now because at least you could sit there and get progress. Oh yeah, we're looking at over 10,000 wood I need for the construction I've already got queued. And again, not even counting the walls I'm going to put on this. Just putting the deck down for it. Which is why I need so many dryads. I've been debating who's getting the dryad. We've got Darth Strider, we've got Dragon Repairman. Who would be the next one to consider? I could do Groots, I just really don't want to take them off that. I could also put, a Tremendous Monument. I can't physically do that. So I could put Conrad on that, but that'll cut into their construction time if I do that. Because I'll have to make them prioritize that, and they're not keeping up. Sentient Cookie could do it. Actually, Sentient Cookie's not a bad choice. So Sentient Cookie can have this one. And we're going to go into Sentient Cookie and say Plant Cut is now a priority too. And you are also going to do Wood-making Dryads. And we are going to go ahead and slaughter that horse that just joined our ranks. Alright. And those are all almost fully grown, so we're going to have that running around. Where is this other person here, by the way? Oh, you are physically on my property? Alright. I don't... Colonists always have the baby. If you have a baby in your colonists will be holding the baby what feels like 100% of the time. Even if it's not, it'll sure feel like it's always. Alright, well I really wanted to engage you at a far off distance, but I'm willing to work with this. Because the problem is, he's gonna hunt us. It's just a matter of time. So I'm just dealing with it now. So we're just dealing with the wild person on the map. Usually I could just leave him around, but when he was inside our base and I'm like noticing there's almost no animals on the map, I'm like, he's gonna hunt Calaria Star, so we're just gonna deal with it. It is what it is. Alright, so one thing we can do here. They say we'll need. Well, let's wait till they get that wire done. I was gonna say we will need. Hey, it's Conrad. It's Conrad and Darstrider's wedding, complete with a corpse in the room. That'll help the wedding. That'll certainly not be something to be worried about. If you're a superstitious person, that probably would be something that would make you consider maybe this wasn't the greatest choice. All right. Okay, so I've got all those built. So once this is done, we're going to activate the monolith. Because I was just waiting for those to be built. Cool. So you just finished your ceremony. Yeah, 18% conversion rate on Claria Star. Knocked her all the way down to 29%. And investigate. Small impressionable child. Please go investigate the thing that has demonic powers. Yep, small child. You will be the one to breach reality. The monolith's dark metallic surface is warm to touch, and Claria Star thinks she can hear a faint hum emanating from inside. The lines on its dusty surface seem to squirm in unsettling patterns. Claria Star focuses on the shapes, trying to uncover their meaning. The hum strengthens. The shapes begin to flow in Claria Star's vision, but the surface isn't changing. The power begins to uncoil in an empty space all around. A black shape is forming in her mind. The anomaly is stirring. We're going to keep focusing on that because certainly as a 10-year-old child, we are absolutely like, yeah, the right idea is when we see something scary is to embrace it with open arms. And so the monolith has returned, and now dark, awful things are going to happen. As the monolith is twisted and changed, Claria Star is overcoming with a horrifying vision. In an instant, she understood. The monolith is a doorway, just barely cracked open now. Something dark beyond imagination stirs on the other side, seeping into our reality. Terrified, but excited, Claria Star is convinced she can learn more, given the time to study the monolith. Meanwhile, considering Claria Star is like literally the new kid on the block, you can imagine all the other ones with their beach resort going, "What have you done?" It's like, what have you done? Everything was, oh, right. That's why we... Alright, 1 second. That's why we hadn't done it. Because the random research mod doesn't work with this. Give me a second. The random research mod doesn't work with the, with anomaly, but you can get around it. So what I do is I go random research. I choose remove random research. Cool. And then I go random research. And I go make random research. And then we get rid of dev mode. So basically, we turned it off and on again. Now, what'll happen is the random research will now work on this tab with the catch of now we can see what the research is and we get a stop research button. So we lost the not knowing fun of it. But we do actually... You do actually need that because sometimes a random research will choose an anomaly research and your character will just sit on the research bench and it will never complete. And then the anomaly research doesn't work with random research, so I do it manually. Oh, I must have already discovered... How many anomalies have we already seen? Harbinger tree, where did you spawn? That's not a bad spot, actually. I'm not going to use it. I've got chuck it in the lake strategy going on, but you know... Harbinger tree spawn. Okay. But yeah, so how many anomalies did we already recognize? Oh, just Shamblers in the Harbinger tree. I wonder why I had so many options. I guess it's fine. But what I'm going to try and do is we're going to go for the entity containment and bioferrite extraction early on. And I'm going to try and work my way over to the bioferrite generator, because that would be another option for power as well. Because RNG-wise, I might literally never get the geothermal... Not literally never. I might not get the geothermal generator anytime soon. Alright, so we're going to put some of the really terrible holding spots right there. We have a distress signal nearby. I forgot we haven't loaded the map yet. So there's a problem with that. As much as I would love to help them, because usually those distress signals are a great way to get some decent weapons, I'm here. And it's there. And there's water that I can't cross. So they send me a distress signal, and I did a collective. And they're on their own. Alright, what are you working on? You're building bridges while we have the wood. Alright. Sight Stealer revealed. Okay, so you've got a Sight Stealer. Sight Stealers are straightforward enemies. They basically run up in melee. I honestly feel like Senju Cookie can handle it on their own. Backup is on the way just in case. But, you know, let's try and be smart about this. So we're going to take you this way and that way, and try and have help meet you here. Oh, you didn't go that way. Alright, Senju Cookie, just jump right on it. And Senju Cookie's like, I don't need help. I do it myself. Alright, so we're going to capture the Sight Stealer, and that gives us Proximity Detector as something we can research. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet. Alright, so Conrad is getting it. We're gonna have Conrad have an escort. So let's keep that going. Because there is... Either we're gonna have more Sight Stealers right now or a little bit. So I do want Conrad to capture that. We're gonna put it in there, we're gonna patch it up. Conrad is gonna get an escort the whole way there. And honestly, I'm a little worried about that because I don't really know where they're gonna go. Yeah, Conrad is going this way. That's what I was afraid of. Man, I don't really want to build a bridge across here. That's gonna mess up a lot of things, but we're gonna have to. I can't have them walking around going that wide. That's gonna get them caught out. So we're gonna go ahead and build a bridge over there for later. So we're gonna follow them over. I'm just gonna go on the assumption it goes okay. As long as it's taking them to walk. We want everyone to patch up their food. It's gonna be a thing. Sightseer saw Senju Cookie and noped away. To be fair, Senju Cookie is rocking some endgame armor and is actually a pretty juiced pawn. So like, noping away is probably the correct decision. Because Sight Stealers are not actually particularly strong at, strong anomaly creatures. Okay. So the issue we're gonna run in here is just dealing with all this. So schedule. We don't have a safe zone, nor do I have proximity detection set up, nor do I have a perimeter to really limit the pathing of the Sight Stealer, or that I could reasonably get going in time. So we are going to kind of be just tempting fate and just hoping the Sight Stealer attack whenever it comes is not too bad. Which, in the way of good strategies, is about as bad as it gets. Like, going shrug, I guess we just live with it, is not the play. So if we're lucky, they'll attack the Dryads, because the Dryads might even just win that fight by themselves. Or we might get lucky and a Sentient Cookie runs around, the Sight Stealers will go after Sentient Cookie, who will just stare daggers into their eyes and probably be able to solo like 3 of them. The worst case scenario is they jump on Claria Star. I can't see it at all. There we go. can't see it at all. There we go. It died. I can live with that outcome. It probably wasn't alone. I don't think there's gonna be a bunch of them this early on. There's a good chance there'll be like 2 or 3. Alright. Okay, we've got another round of Sight Stealers showing up, apparently. And you got a little scratched up. So I'd really like you to go to your bed and let someone patch you up really fast before the Sight Stealers arrive. Okay. Yeah, so first wave was 1, second wave was 2. The good news is we are a very, very low wealth colony. Well, actually, I mean, we're not very low wealth. We're fairly low wealth. We are starting to get some wealth going now that electricity is happening. Previously, we were a very, very low wealth colony, but it has very slowly been climbing. Now, I would like to capture more of the Sight Stealers for researching and ultimately getting bioferrite later. Because I am probably, if possible, going to lean on bioferrite electricity. Because I do have, I mean, we got this geothermal, I mean, we have 2 geothermals that are really well positioned, and these 2 are definitely usable. The one out here, I mean, we could probably put all those to use. That's fine. Okay, and meanwhile, we've got that one already to start building rooms on. All right. Cool. Because I am trying to get more rooms built. We're trying to just expand everything. I'm not prioritizing much right now. It's going to take so many materials. All of these are going to be probably products that'll take longer than the colony will live, regardless, like wind, fail, or otherwise. Because we actually look at what we've got going on here. I only need 3 more basic entities before I can upgrade the monolith. We won't be upgrading the monolith until I at least get flares unlocked, though. Because dealing with the higher difficulty monolith things without so much as an ability to stun them is really rough. Alright, we got rare thrombos. I don't think we can tame them, right? No. I require 10 and I have 7, so they won't even try. That's fine. And I don't particularly need to kill them. The hide and all, like, they're good food, and they got really good fur and hide and all that, and the horn is a really good melee weapon. But honestly, it's not. None of that's that important. Especially until we get this last bit of power line wired, it's just gonna rot. Okay, we've got a group from the Empire visiting. So one thing we are going to do is if Sentient Cookie gets attacked, Sentient Cookie's going to fight back automatically. Usually when you're melee and you get attacked. Alright, so our freezer is online. So that should be bringing the temperature down to freezing, and we'll no longer have a bunch of stuff rot, which will be good. Cool. Now let the food hoarding begin. Sight Stealer has been revealed. Is chasing Groot's twig. So it did drop in behind Groot's twig, which isn't my favorite. So Groot's is going to be able to get one shot off ahead of time. And they missed. So we're going to have Groot's try their best to run away. So you all go up there. How's Groot's doing? Groot's got proper messed up. You go deal with getting medical attention and all that. Alright, meanwhile, we're gonna prioritize patching up Groot's before capturing this. Did you find another one? You did. Sent you cookie. Do this. The rest of you, other than Groot's, rally. No. You, medical bed, go to sleep. You're actually genuinely in bad shape, Groot's. Alright. That's fine. So I got another one here. Get back to tending. Tending Groot's. Alright, we've got more of them. Alright, get closer so he can't friendly fire. That's a big problem, is I have no way of telling how many more there are. And how badly did you get hurt? You didn't, you're not even bleeding. You took a punch, you're not even bleeding. Go ahead and capture them. You're already capturing that one. You capture that one. Dark Strider, you... No holding platform? Okay, so we're good there. So Conrad's gonna start patching everyone up. You'll see how many of these ones we can actually capture. I'm guessing we've got them all because the other ones probably would have run into another person by now. It's probably just waiting for this one to die for it to tell me it's done. Okay, and how are these entities doing? Probably terribly. So once you're done patching them up, we're going to have you deal with the entities. Alright. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, you're taking care of it. Thanks, man. Send Cookie just has bruises, so we can not focus too much on that. Cool, so we got ourselves a full place of the, from all that. So I guess we're going to be building the next set out of limestone because I'm running out of materials. Alright. There we go. I just realized that's one different from the rest of the pattern. Okay. That way, if we get more stuff, we can put them in holding cells as well. and speed up our anomaly stuff. Okay, there we go. Starvation, which is self-inflicted because you can just go get food. We do need to find ourselves a lung. Why aren't you doing anything, Groot? Buddy, go eat. Malnutrition is not where it's at, friend. Alright. So progress is being made. We are producing wood fast enough that, very genuinely, Conraid's not keeping up. Like, it's the construction speed is now our limiter. Alright. Dark visions on Groot's twig. Have a nice time. And that's because you're in lots of pain, which is understandable. You got scratched the crap out of. You also have a prosthetic heart, a prosthetic leg, and you've lost a lung. It's been a rough time for poor Conraid. Or sorry, poor Groot's twig. They showed up as a colonist at our colony with a prosthetic heart, and then all the rest of this has come to pass. They got the mech link here as well, and their mech died. We haven't been able to, like, we can't replace it because I can't manage mechs right now. I just lack the materials. Okay, so now that we're going to do is, since we have an actual freezer, we're going to go ahead and start making fine vegetarian meals. We'll make 10 of those, and lavish vegetarian meals. And we'll do those forever. So the plan there is very simple. We prioritize making tea. When we don't have tea, we make some side tea to help with moods. And we just go down the line. If the cook has nothing else to do and we got ingredients piled up, make the nicest meals you possibly can. We've got a person crash landing here. Chemical fascination, cannibal fast learner. It is unfortunate that they died on impact. They certainly did not survive the impact. So sad. Alright, what's going to end up happening is we're about to hit an ad break. I'm going to go ahead and take this ad break off because I had my dinner sitting here and got really into it in Core Keeper and lost track. So I'm going to eat my food real fast, pause the game, and I'll be back here in just a couple minutes. So thank you for watching so far, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. So thank you again. Okay. Oh, none of these are great choices.
No, those are both real bad.
I know. Ah, yes. More things. Any preference on which one you'd be like to subject to the most?
What I'm gonna invite Obi real quick so he can come help us out.
Sounds good.
Me and Obi played this a lot.
That tells us about your personality, a random psychology test would say. Do corpses go away after a while? Yes, 9 days. All these bodies you see here, I have killed in the last 9 in-game days. All the bodies from before that are long gone. Really going, you know what? That's going to be an immediate problem. I can't move. I am physically one with the emeralds. The emeralds are me. I am the emerald. Help. I regret this decision. Unstuck. Storge. Walter's asking me questions about my coffee bean dealer. I'm not telling.
Raj is hot.
Raj is hot.
It is good for Raj.
Yes, good for Raj indeed. I love you.
I love you.
Too much is like, Raj is hot. Good for Raj. Raj is like, I know. I am dapper AF. But I'm not telling. I know what he... Oh man, guard, don't do that. Why would you do that, guard? That is unacceptable behavior, guard. How dare you? How dare you, sir? That is not okay. Oh, man. That guard's gonna have to be fired. Where's my flashlight? Where's my flashlight? Where's my flashlight? It's El Pastor in a tortilla shell. And if I let it sit here for too long, it's going to be mush in a tortilla shell. Whoa, look at those parts fly. Okay. Those parts had a place they wanted to be that wasn't that trailer. If zombies are target animals, they'd surely be wiped out in the first week. I mean, probably not if they're the animals that like deer and all that, because there's a lot of the map that doesn't have any meaningful zombie presence. No. Okay, that was the mouse messing up again. We're okay though. We managed to trip our way through the zombies. I fought back when, you know, people were trying to be more aggressive in going after people for minor offenses and all that. I was like, hey man, does this really matter? Healthy baby! Not really. I cannot see in the grass at all. No, I was really depending on you not being there anymore. I really need you to get away from my car. Oh, that's it. Well. Alright, and I am back. So, thank you for waiting and all that. Just had my dinner sitting here and we had an ad break anyways. I'm like, man, I'm hungry. So, enjoyed that. That's one of the things that you can get, like, really, really into the mode. Oh, yeah, you're sitting there saying, well, I mean, I don't cannibal in my runs. I deliberately make it, other than very extreme exceptions, if we're doing, like, a challenge, like, you know, ice sheet or something where you're going to eat literally everything that goes in that map or you're going to die. There's ways you can work around it, but that's pretty extreme stuff. But outside of that, I will, like, never do cannibalism in the game. Like, I will try and stretch out avoiding it as long as possible. And my colonists will starve before I do that. But in this particular case, since I do have a blown out lung in one of my characters, sorry, I normally won't organ harvest people either. But in this case, I got some need. And if someone's awful, you know, sometimes people are gonna die anyways. We don't want to just waste their organs. We'll just get that one lung we need. That's it, honestly. With the monolith, it gives you multiple ways to solve that problem. You can get the unnatural healing. If you get someone with that can get you a way to patch up your missing organs very easily. If you get the labyrinth. The labyrinth is Organs City. You do the labyrinth and you usually walk away with like 5 or 6 or 7 organs out of that. Just for whatever reason, they're full of organs. So usually if you got someone missing a lung or whatever, if you just keep triggering the anomaly things, you're sooner or later going to get what you need. We are now allied with the Exodus Empire because one of them did get injured and we did patch them up. So I am noticing one thing fairly overpowered with what we're doing right now with hospitality. And that is, with hospitality, we are very quickly getting all sorted. That canceled you approaching. Honestly, Senju Cookie's probably going to kill that thing. If we're being honest, oh my god, you always have the baby. Like, good on you being a responsible parent and all that, but seriously, you always have that baby. Alright. Is it dead? Nope, it's just downed. Alright. So, cut out the eye. It's downed. My favorite is when you get, like, one of the more dangerous ones, like the, it's not Juggernaut. Chimera, and you break its spine without killing it. Those are, like, the best entities. Because they go in here into containment, and they will never escape. Because they're immobilized, they can't physically escape. It's really good when you get something like the Devourer, or the Chimera, or one of those, and you break its spine, because it's just like, well, job here is done. Or you knock off their legs, or whatever. Anything that permanently immobilizes it, then you're just like, cool, now I have a permanent source of bioferrite that I never have to worry about. It's just, unfortunately, it's so rare that it happens RNG-wise. And you'll notice I don't get, like, operations or anything here, so I can't go up and be like, okay, let's take this thing and let's break its spine. That'd also get pretty messed up if you were sitting there doing that. Not that getting some sort of spooky creature and locking it in your basement isn't already not great enough. I feel like we've seen a couple movies about this before. Cargopods, and we've got ourselves some smoke leaf. Cool, I guess. Insufficient containment, probably because someone was standing in the door. Let's have you patch up that door, by the way. Yeah, so they're doing a good job. They're gonna get containment up. Let's actually don't build these yet. Blade on the heal route. I hate it. We got an exotic goods trader. Alright, so everyone needs to be on plant cut 1 for just a moment, because that's a problem. So wake up, get to work, start cutting. Why are you sleeping on the floor in here? Oh right, I changed your bed to a medical bed because you cannot tell a pawn to rest in a regular bed. Like when they're sick. I really need you to get down here and start ripping up those things, please. Before the blight kills all of our crops and puts us in trouble. You know, you trade them real quick. Alright, so what do we got from you? I definitely could use the components. We're already researching multi-analyzer. We do have a kidney, but I don't need a kidney. I need a lung. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter because I have nowhere near enough money to do anything meaningful. Nor do I have much of anything I could trade to get money from them. So I'm going to take a couple of components, whatever I can buy, because we're going to be short on those anyways. And that's just going to have to do. So we got ourselves 6 components because that's what we can offer. We're going to be honestly leaning on the hospitality for most of our money, it seems like. And I need more of you to be available to start chopping these back. Because unfortunately, most of my people are terrible at plans, so it just takes them too long to do this by themselves. Alright, so Blight is defeated. So let's go back here. So drop you back to 2. 4. Off. Actually. So yeah, Darkstrider and Sentient Cookie need to be at 2. Because they are also doing Dryad shenanigans. We're gonna need a second person building, because we're getting the wood fast enough now. That construction can't keep up. Alright, so I got 144 there. As much as I really want to go over here and wire more stuff, that's not what I want to work on. Yes, we are working, apparently our random research shows gene processor. You're not assigned to plant cutting. I thought we already got that sorted. Oh, they probably just have to wake up, and once they wake up, it'll be fixed. No, that's not the problem. I chose the wrong thing. There. Let's see, do you have mods that, to make advanced bridges, or is it all wood? It's all wood. I didn't take any mods for advanced bridges. Honestly, for what we're doing, I feel like that would be something that makes this way easier. So let's do bioferrite extraction next. Because interestingly, that gives me an alternative for steel for a lot of things. Which the last time we did this challenge run was before Anomaly, so I didn't have an alternative to steel. Now, to be clear with that, you can only use it for steel as an alternative in certain situations. There are some things that still can strictly only be built with steel, and then there's some things that you can mix and match. But yeah, no, all our bridges are wood. That's just the life we live. Alright. Is there something else I'd want from you by chance? Not really. So I don't think we take any more dryads. I think we're good on the dryad front. Because we're just making wood now, it's just a matter of how fast we can build. Alright. We got more visitors dropping by. That's good news. Okay, and I'm back. Sorry about that, just had to clear my throat. It is one of those things with hospitality, it does seem like we're getting people way faster than I remember. Like, we're getting overlapping guests constantly. And I don't remember that being a thing we ran into the last time. Like, I remember once in a while we'd have multiple guests on the, multiple groups on the tile at the same time. I just remember being pretty rare. Okay. Now that I think about it, this would actually make a good hospital. Potentially. I do think our defensive position is going to be up here in the long run, but we'll see what happens. And I'm not going to make like a big trap maze. I'm literally just going to have it open up to an area where they're going to have to go marching through this crap at us. That'll protect us from a lot of well, not protect us. It'll help us against a lot of conventional raids. And in certain anomaly encounters. But with as big of an area as this is, we're going to have lots of like mech clusters dropping in down here or whatever. It's too big of a space to have enclosed like this. My hope is we'll be able to draw some of them down here to the outside perimeter because that'll be more workable. Gift from the Nexus Empire gave us a Steel Gladius, a Great Bow, and a Pila. And you stood in the door again, which is going to happen a lot. That's the one downside with this design, is you'll have people stop to research in the door, which will trigger it being like, hey, you don't have enough containment. One thing I could show you towards the end of stream, if people want, I've been working on a YouTube video that is a run where basically the gist of it, and the reason I'm not streaming is it's incredibly slow, which is why I'm making a YouTube video so I can edit out the dead time. But the gist of it is, I'm only, like, if I can build it out of bioferrite, it must exclusively be built out of bioferrite. So all of my walls are bioferrite, my floors are going to be bioferrite, you get the idea. And we're just doing, like, I'm doing a run around that, which is incredibly slow. To give you an idea, one of these site stealers gives you about 1 bioferrite per day on like when you're using the actual extractor. Or if you're not using the extractor, it's like 6 per 8 days or something like that. 8 or 12 days. And so what that means in reality is for every like 6, 7, 8 days, I can build 1 unit of wall per thing I hold, including putting things into containment. So it is extremely slow build. And then the other major thing is, while bioferrite is actually fairly sturdy from a durability standpoint, it's also very flammable. And so you get how that goes. And that run's been going pretty well, but it is a spicy one. I actually just got a murder ball in that run that I'm sitting there going, what am I doing with this? Because I don't have nearly enough materials to make my thing. How do you protect yourself against mechs emerging from the sea? I hope it doesn't happen. I honestly, to be entirely realistic, I've not played many water tiles since they added that. So that is something I have not encountered enough to really do that. Now, if we had all the materials available to me, what I would try and do is enclose a bunch of these, like, instead of just leaving this as an open space, I'd try to enclose it as best I could. That way the mechs would have to go around to pop in controlled ways. They expected more from you, they won't be back for a while, and they gave me a steel warhammer anyways. But right now, with our absolute starvation of materials, I feel like getting the exterior barrier made first, so I can at least kind of funnel the enemies in one way, that's going to be my first move. And then the next move is going to just be whatever I can do, whether it's like enclose this area, you know, enclose that area, like whatever I need to do to like make it work. So that, like, you know, if the mechs pop up around here, at least they're inside this circle and they can start tearing that up. It gives me a chance to, you know, move whatever I need to get ready for when they break out. But basically treat it like an infestation is what I'm thinking. So bioferrite shaping will start getting us towards the stuff there. Meanwhile, I don't really have what I need for these to extract bioferrite using the electronic means. So we're just gonna rip it out of their bodies by hand. So we got an attacks immediately, 7 humans, all melee, and you are Neanderthals. 7 Neanderthals with the number of people we have. Hey, buddy, so you go ahead and trade your pacifist anyways. Is that attacks immediately? I'm pretty sure it was. Alright, so this is not really great. So what we're going to do is our combat people are going to pop up over here, and the hope is just going to be we can do enough damage before they start closing in that we can kite them, because I don't got a whole lot of really good kiting space. Actually, hey, I told you to go after them. Don't do it. Because if you do, you're going to try and wade out there and get yourself in trouble. And unfortunately, they're all piled up in one spot. So unless they separate out, we're going to be in trouble for even more reasons. So Sentient Cookie should chill over here, because they'll most likely come this way. Polaria Star is going to be down in that direction so that they're not in the front. Get her bolt actions down here. Get you into position. And that's about the best we can do for right now, is just try our best. I'm kind of hoping they'll jump in on this as well. Okay, they did separate out. So that's going to help us a little bit. It's not going to be quite 2 waves, but we are going to be able to thin them out a little bit. All right, so you got some solid hits on them. Darth, get out of there. Okay, so you split your fire between these two. I want to try to slow them down as much as possible. No. Literally opening with gray flesh during a Neanderthal raid? And it's, of course, in a room that we have no knowledge of who it's going to be, because that's a room that literally everyone goes through. Thanks, game. Well, we'll worry about the gay flesh. The gray flesh, which is a very different situation. It's the baby. Oh man, that'd be so messed up. Come on, keep up the fire. Sweet. Okay, so consideration time. I cannot take the time to imprison people, to start processing things. Like, I don't have a dedicated prison. I don't think we can make that happen. So for right now, we're eating raw food from here on out. And we're going to leave. I could get away without having a doctor for the moment. Okay, so all of you, what we're going to do is, congratulations, this is a prison now. And we don't have anyone realistically we can be. It's like, it's you, you're the one who did it. We don't know. So what I'm going to try to do is we're going to arrest Groots first. And what I'm going to try to do with that is I am trying to get Groots to pull them into the room to start going and approaching, saying, hey, are you the suspicious character? And just kind of harass them until I know who did it. So analyze the gray flesh. And the reason I'm choosing Groots because they're our doctor, and I need to have a doctor, so my hope is if I keep badgering Groots about it, that we can manage to either, one, confirm that they are it, or just hit them enough times with this that I feel comfortable that they're, like, you know, once we've done it like 4 or 5 or 6 times where we've badgered them with someone with really high social, that if they hold up at that. All right, so we have finished analyzing the gray flesh sample, the sample being carried with the biosignature Soldine 3V. Dragon Repairman made progress in learning the identity of the biosignature in living subjects, but needs more samples to complete the work. Until then, your surgical inspections will not detect Soldine 3V. Collect and analyze more gray flesh. Okay. So yeah, so we need to interrogate Groot's Twig until I get like 4 or 5 interrogations in with someone who's got really, really high social, so you two aren't doing it. And then if it shows that says, oh no, they're it, then we just won the lottery and we're good. If it doesn't, that we come up dry after 4 or 5 goes and still nothing, then we will let them out and we will swap the other doctor. And we're good. Like, you get the idea. We're going to try to do what we can where we can't prove that they aren't it. You can't prove the negative. But if we do actually hit the right person, we can potentially prove that. Okay. So first attempt. Why are you not... Why are you only giving me the option to strip? There we go. Interrogate. No luck that time. To be fair, the chances that we randomly guessed them out of... I'm guessing the kid can't have it, but I don't know that for a fact. We'll assume the kid can. The chance of getting it 1 out of 6 is not great. Especially since it was our common room where literally everyone goes. So there was no narrowing it down. Like, if it was that seat up there, I may have gone by, okay, it's probably Conrite, because they're the ones constantly feeding the kid, and so I would have targeted them. But it was on this outer chair here, which means literally everyone goes through there. It's also possible, I believe it can target your guests, so it could literally be we don't have someone here with it. I really hope that's not the case, because I will be afraid of my shadow for a long time, and just assuming we just haven't caught the person for a long time. It is one of those things that I wish it was a mechanic that if the person who had it, like, leaves the colony, that after a very short time, it gives you some type of signifier that's like, you know, it feels like you believe the threat has passed or whatever. Like, you know, some generic, look, man, you can stop looking at your shadow, it's fine. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so that's another guest room. Okay, so far we've done one interrogation of Groot's Twig. And like I said, if we go 4 or 5 and it comes back with no catching them, then we'll turn around and Groot's Twig will be let out and it'll put Con right in. Because right now I've disabled cooking entirely and I've disabled doctoring entirely. Because those are 2 primary vectors of which people get infected. Now, obviously, if people get injured... Let's see, why do you play on a low-resolution setting? I am not playing on a low-resolution setting. What I've done is, if you go into your UI settings... Where's that? The interface? I have the interface made larger, and that's because I am streaming. If you ever try and look at this on your phone or something, it is impossible to see unless you tune up the UI resolution and all that. So it is those things that the resolution is normal, but I do have the UI elements made larger. Plus, I'm an old man. I'm an old man, and it's hard to see things. Not really, but it does reduce eye strain. And if you game for a long time and you're squinting your eyes, you get headaches and all that, and it's not fun. Come on, let's hit the lottery. Alright, so it's at least 2 interrogations that Groot's has held up. You look young enough. I'm teasing. But it is just one of those things that generally, if you're dealing with lots of tiny UI elements, it can cause eye strain and all that, which, like I said, it can cause you headaches and all sorts of stuff. Not that I have particularly bad headaches, but it is those things you'll game for a while and you'll be like, man, like, why do my eyes hurt? Oh, right, I've been looking at tiny little crap on the screen all day. Carnivore fine meals. Cool, I'll take those, sure. Alright. Oh yeah, that's the reason why everything is wood. The total lack of stone and metal. Yep, yeah, and the UI is still readable. That's actually a big reason why when you play most games, if the game works well with increasing the UI stuff, they expected more from me, they won't be back anytime soon. Okay, well, don't care. Sure. But, because I do stream, and while the most people who tune into stream are on computer, there is a very large number of people who do watch streams on mobile devices or televisions or other things like tablets. And those are things that you end up really wanting to have a more low resolution friendly thing. Hospitality mod? Yes. This is we are doing a tropical resort kind of thing. Normally I don't run very much in the way of mods, but we've had, requests for doing something different. And so I was like, all right, let's do this. Which works out. It does mean, like, honestly, hospitality is pretty overpowered. Like, without it, we would be really struggling to just have, like, basic money or anything to do with. But it's working out pretty okay. All right. We are dealing, for the record, with a metal horror situation. So we are doing the Among Us. So where it's screaming that I don't have a doctor and I don't have a cook, that's because we don't even have the slightest clue of who it is. Just because the gray flesh we found was in our break room at our table, which means literally everyone goes through there. All DLC? Yes. All DLC is on. We have poked the monolith because I actually really do like Anomaly. But we are dealing with the gray flesh event right now. Literally, we had activated and said, okay, here's some sight stealers. Okay, it's time for your second event, gray flesh. And you're like, what? Come on, man. That's like opening up with a revenant. That's just mean. All right. So we are interrogating one of our doctors a bunch of times to try and, even though we can't confirm they don't have it, to at least build up a certain level of confidence that they probably aren't who it is. Then we'll release them. Then I'll take my cook or one my other doctor. They'll go in. Let's see, you always open up with Revenant. That's why you only activate it when you have some way to fight it. Well, the good news is you only get the Revenant as a possibility when you have a certain number of colonists. Generally speaking, so the first one is almost always a sight stealer. I don't know if that's hardwired to be that way, but it's almost always a sight stealer. And then the next one is the one that, who knows what it is. Distress signal, sanguiphage. I am not dealing with sanguiphage is what we got. You sometimes watch the computer or your screen with 2-3 meters away when resting your spine doing chores. Yeah, there's a whole thing. Okay, so we do have everyone back on the same ideology again, but the genes are good. But the big problem and why I don't take sanguiphages is, generally speaking, when I play the game, you'll never see me almost ever do cannibalism outside of extreme challenges like ice sheet stuff. You'll very, very, very rarely see me organ harvest or do anything like that. I never will do slavery in the game. One, I don't even think it's... Mechanically, it doesn't even work well for you. It's not beneficial. You're better off just taking people as colonists most of the time. And then two, it's something that I don't even enjoy the idea of, like, you know, simulating. Yes, it's a video game. Yes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't reflect you as your personal moral and ethics or whatever to have it. It's just one of the things I have zero interest in. So I don't tend to do those things. You take their legs and being fed, you're just sleeping in the corners. Yeah, well, that's for sanguiphage. That's how you deal with it. Like the best way to deal with it is you get prisoners, you take off their legs, and you make them into blood bags. Maybe you seem more open-minded. No, I've done those things, Xylon. I've played those ways in the past. It's honestly not that interesting after a while. Once you get past the haha, I get to do the naughty, haha, it literally, a lot of times it makes the game easier to play that way. I've got what is it? Almost like I've got thousands of hours in the game. And I used to play that way, to be fair. Like, this isn't me being like, look at me on my high horse moral high ground. It's just genuinely I've done my time doing that, and I enjoy playing the game more without being an absolute psychopath. Like, it's one of those things, you do it for a while and all that stuff. It'd be nice if you could set the feed-friendly colonists without blood loss. I'm even okay with the blood loss. I just wish you could sit there and say sanguiphage and, like, queue up and say, hey, here's a person you're allowed to, you know, tap for some blood when you need it. And they just automatically do it. That's the only reason I don't like sanguiphage, is either, one, I gotta blood bag people. And like I said, I've done it. I've done sanguiphage runs, and we do what we gotta do. But it's really annoying when you don't want to do the blood bag thing, and you have to manually tell them to bite people constantly, or manually do the hemogen extract manually all the time. And it's like, look, man, just let me have Bob over there in the corner and says, Bob's like, hey, man, my job here is to make blood and haul and clean. As you play the game a lot, but the urge to delete the save and play a new game keeps me from ever completing the game. Oh no, we've got lots of wins under our belt. On stream alone, I have done, I think, 3 or 4 anomaly completions. We've launched the ship 2 or 3 times. I've done, I think, 3 Arco Nexus. I don't remember if we've done the royalty ending on stream. We did one where we run over, like, all the way to the ship and then launch it. I probably will never do it again. I can't stand caravanning. It's not that bad. Yeah, or set up an auto blood. Yeah, exactly. Be able to flag so it's like, this is the guy you keep taking blood. Because, like, for example, here we've got Darthstrider here as a pacifist. I think it would be great to have Darthstrider just be the ones like, hey, just keep tapping this person for blood. And then, you know, make Sentient Cookie into a Sanguiphage, and you've just got blood on standby. And you just accept you've got one of your colonists effectively has a near-permanent consciousness penalty. Like a mild one, because it's just... You'd only have, I think, minor blood loss. But yeah, so it's not an open-mindedness. I don't, like I said, I don't have some, like, moral, oh, how dare you play as cannibals. When we're doing a challenge, I'll do it. Like, I've done that gameplay. I've done it plenty. But for me, I find it far more interesting to try and play the game. Try and play the game as, like, a person would actually likely be if they were chunked into the situation. Generally speaking, when you have people who are trying to survive in the woods, not everyone goes, I have been without reliable food for 30 seconds. Well, Dave, I'm eating Dave now. Goodbye, Dave. That's not what most people do. Yes, under pressure over time, you're moral and all. Completed ice biome yet? I completed it when it was harder. I completed it well before they made the ice biomes easier. For those who don't know, the ice biomes used to stay much colder, so trade caravans wouldn't show up or stay around hardly at all, and all that stuff. So very genuinely, there's a pro and the con. I should be more fair. The pro and the con is now you have trade caravans and all that other stuff can show up on the map. The tiles are actually a bit warmer than they used to be. On the other hand, it does mean more variety of threats do show up. Versus Ice Sheet back in the day during, like, winter, you almost never got, like, a conventional raid. It was almost nothing but Manhunter packs and mechs. Which, you know, is bad. Oh, I just realized. When I have guests here, I can't stop them from cooking. They're just gonna do it anyways, because the whole thing. At 30%, it's only +5 to 35 degrees. The good news is, I don't think that matters. That's fine, I don't care about the alpaca. Alright, so we're gonna do one more interrogate on Groots, and if Groots holds up, we're going to assume Groots is fine. That's potentially a mistake, but at some point, I gotta rotate people out. And this will be our 4th or our 5th interrogation now, with you here having 16 social with someone they know fairly well. They know a little bit, I guess. Where is Groot's twig on here? Oh, I'm looking at Groot's twig. Okay. Yeah, so no, they know them decently enough. See, I'll do one more interrogation on them, and if they hold up, we're going to assume they're fine, and then we're going to line up the next person. Now, like I said, it could be just because Anomaly doesn't know about mods and all that, and vice versa. It could be one of my guests was the one with the gray flesh, and literally walks off the map. Because we did have a run where for like 2 years I was just on edge because we had gray flesh show up twice, and we never did find out who had it. And we were just like, oh god, like I've gone through everyone, I don't know what to do. And it ended up being a refugee had it, and didn't spread it, and then left the map. And I was looking for a boogeyman that wasn't there. Entity Slayer, Kalaria Star. Because of pain. Oh, food poisoning. Yeah, that'll do it. So unfortunately, I cannot interrogate Groot's twig again until that passes. Okay, good. So she only killed one. That's fine. They're just Sight Stealers. Sight Stealers are pretty low value things. Like if she had gone through and killed all 4 of them or something, or like 3 of them, that would have been pretty bad, but just 1. Alright. Manhunting boom rats? No. I would have put off dealing with any medical as long as possible. until we've got this sorted. So I am going to get Groot's Twig back in action. Once I get Groot's Twig back in action, I think I'll probably do Sentient Cookie next. And the reason I'm thinking Sentient Cookie next is so we can get our Cook back in action. And then if Sentient Cookie holds up, eventually we'll turn around to get the next person. This isn't a great way of dealing with it, but unless you, like, if, for example, if we had the Gray Flesh up here, I know it's one of 3 people then, with not with a super high level of confidence, but a pretty high level. That'd be one of these 3. And especially if it's, like, off to the side over here, for example. Oh, please don't injure each other, actually, decent. Okay, it's all just bruises. You're just gonna have to recover without medical attention. I don't have a doctor I can turn to in confidence. We'll interrogate Groot's Twig, we'll let them out, and then Groots can patch up people. I just gotta wait for that mood break. Because my luck is Conrite would be the one to do that, infect Sentient Cookie, and then suddenly everything's gone sideways, because then it's 2-on-2. And 2-on-2 Metal Horrors versus early-ish mid-game characters, or late-ish early game, depending on you look at it. It's weird because of random research, no research. The Metal Horrors honestly probably have the advantage, barring a really good defensive position or something where you can kind of pop doors to kite them back and forth, which we just don't have. Like, I might be able to abuse the freezer a little bit to go back and forth on them, but it would probably be pretty bad. And even if I did that, the other ones bleeding out from having a Metal Horror climb out of their body would probably bleed out before the Metal Horrors were dealt with. So regardless, there would probably be casualties. Alright, come on, man. Groots, wake up so I can interrogate you one last time, then we'll let you out. That's all I need, buddy. Just wake up. Let me grill you about you if you are who you say you are. And if you hold up, I'm gonna let you out. And then we can put Cookie in there. Alright. So we interrogated them at least 5 times. It may have been like 6 or 7, but at least 5 that I'm aware of. So Groots here can go grab their weapon. Which should be in here. And you are going to be assigned to Doctor again. This is a calculated risk here. It is one of those things that we can't verify whether or not Groots is the person, but we had someone who had high level of social, basically bring it up again and again and again. So every time you do that, it rolls a dice to be like, do you get them? If they have the infection. So doing that 5 or 6 times, it's a pretty strong chance you've got that sorted. Oh. Yeah, I'll patch you up. Now, the real danger is, for example, if early on it was Groot's Twig and someone else, and like Darth Strider was compromised, that's when things would get real bad. Yeah, so let's patch you up. Alright, so next contestant is gonna be you, so sorry, Cookie. You're going to prison, friend. Because if we get through Cookie and manage to get that far enough, we can at least get back to trying to cook. And then I can honestly just not have Conrite Doctor anymore. So we can just have these two verified. Well, not verified. We can have a decent amount of effort put into trying to see if they're a problem. And if they are, you know, deal with it. Yeah, so I've interrogated Cookie once so far. I have a little bit of steel left over. So let's go ahead, because we already know we're going to, assuming it didn't walk off the map, we're going to be able to get a containment cell with that soon. So let's get a better containment cell set up. And I'm really hoping Cookie doesn't go ballistic or whatever, because they'll be difficult to deal with. All right, so it's 2 interrogations that Cookie's held up against. All right. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go for like 5 or 6. If Cookie holds up, we're going to say, all right, well, we tried our best. I'm honestly guessing it was one of our guests, but I don't say that with any level of confidence whatsoever. All right. Okay. I'm also surprised we haven't seen another instance of Gray Flesh soon. It takes a while. And then the one big advantage is after it's taken a little bit, once you hit a certain point, it will be one of those things that you can just do invasive surgery to figure out who has it. So then you can go, here's who I think has it. You can do the invasive surgery. And the big thing is you want to try to, as carefully as possible, vet who you think did it. Rare thrombos, I don't have enough taming to tame them. But yeah, I know it's also a thing, like anyone who is a metal horror, if you have that person do the surgery, they will infect, or they can infect the person, and they'll lie about it if they're like, oh yeah, this person's clean. So it is those things, you try your best to vet people. And the best you can do, other than catching the person, is just grab someone, throw them in a room, and start interrogating them. And while you're doing that, you notice I turned off cooking and doctoring until I had someone who had gotten harassed a bunch about it. Now, if it's Darstrider, the good news is Darstrider's never going to doctor, and they're never going to cook. The bad news is they are sleeping with Conrite, and it is one of those things that 2 people who share a bed, if one of them is infected, can infect the other one with metal horror. But if I keep Conrite from doctoring and just have Groot's Twig handle it, that means, yes, I'll still have 2 colonists who'll get converted to metal horror, but I can just keep them from spreading it, and it'll be locked down to just those 2 until I manage to narrow down who did it. Now, for those who don't know how the Gray Flesh works as well, after a while, the person who's infected, they'll actually drop a texture on the map. That's the Gray Flesh texture. And if someone gets close enough, they'll then spot that there's Gray Flesh. And it'll then go, hey, I detected Gray Flesh or whatever. That mood break is slowing down the rate I can interrogate people. But what if it was the baby? I'm willing to bet babies can't be affected. A lot of the stuff, yeah, Darkstrider has begun to fixate the void, which is to do provocation ritual. Nah, it's not happening. It's not happening, buddy. I'm pretty sure the baby can't get it, and I'm also fairly sure kids can't get it, but I also don't know it. Let's see, one time you had a prisoner had it, where and they were in cryostasis for years. You let them out to get some genes, they died for some reason, and then exploded. Yeah, no, it can lay low for a long time. Like I said, the one that was the biggest pain for me was, again, we had a refugee who had it. We got 2 instances of gray flesh, and we didn't figure out who had it. And we're sitting there going, I have interrogated everyone to the ends of the earth, and I still haven't found it. And it was driving me up the wall, because, like, everything was starting to fall apart because we didn't have enough doctors and cooks, and I finally had to be like, I just gotta turn it back on. And eventually, after a long discussion, we dev mode just to see if it was there, and it wasn't on anyone in the colony. Like, we didn't delete it or whatever, we're just like, okay, is this bugged? Like, what's going on? And we're like, alright, it had to be the refugees. That the refugees showed up and had it, and never got a chance to spread it, and left. But yeah, no, it was like a year or two in game of just being completely stressed out. Because you're like, I've vetted everyone. Everyone has been vetted. We've gone through, and when you vet, it's not 100%. It's, okay, I've interrogated this person like 10 times. The chance of losing that dice roll 10 times is real low. So, it's not 100% confident, but it's pretty up there. Whispered, it's me. I mean, not me. What are you drinking? At the moment, Mountain Dew. I probably shouldn't be. It's getting pretty late. I probably should be off the caffeine, but I don't feel like going near him. Hey, that looks like a you problem. Go deal with the rat. Or don't deal with the rat, I guess. Alright, so you're sleeping. Oh, wait, it's coming back. Finally. Alright, well, that was annoying. Rats being so hard to hit. It's the gray flesh. Yeah. Tend to them, don't wait. Okay, so that's at least our third interrogation against Sentient Cookie. And like I said, once we hit 5, we'll let Cookie back out, and we'll let them be a cook. And then if I've messed up, well, then we die. Honestly, that's probably how that would result. If I let them out and I let them go back to cooking, and they're the one who has it, they'll infect 2 or 3 or 4 people, and then all the metal horrors will pop out, and there'll be like one person trying to defend the colony and getting overwhelmed. And even if they did manage to survive the fight, everyone else would be bleeding out. You wouldn't be able to patch them up fast enough. But at some point, especially if you think one of your guests had it, your only choice is to at some point be like, all right, like we gotta roll the dice. Because right now everyone's getting all pissy because we're eating raw food because we've long since run out of cooked meals. Because this is our cook. Alright, this will be number 4. Okay, one more interrogation in the morning, and we let Cookie out. And then I guess after that, I'll probably arrest Dragon and interrogate. Time to train up the kid. Kid, go make oatmeal. Yeah. Well, I don't know if children can get at that. Like, that I actually don't know the answer to. Cool, so we actually patched up the Exodus Empire person. Why is your reputation... Oh, did we, like, kill our reputation? Oh, we did. We had such bad stays back-to-back that it actually killed our reputation with them a little bit. Like, that is one thing about the hospitality, is your reputation with factions flies all over the place. Cool, so we did get multi-analyzer by reading the book, so that's good news. I'm gonna put this down here to be built. I don't expect that to happen anytime soon at all, because I don't have most of those materials. Actually, that's a lie. Do I literally have all those No, I don't have the gold. That's fine. Now, the big catch is Darstrider's the one doing this because it's our only social capable person. It's entirely possible Darstrider is the one with the metal horror. At which point, if Darstrider has it, then Conrate most likely also has it because they're married. Which is fine, because, you know, that means it knocks down my pacifist, it'll knock down one. The other 4 fighting would more than likely be able to handle 2 metal horrors pretty easily. But if Darstrider has it, my chances of catching the person are pretty negligible until we can start using invasive surgery to do it. That said, one of the real pains of the Grey Flesh is there is a long time between the instances of Grey Flesh. Just lots and lots of chance for it to get spread. Come on. I think we had another round already. But I am just hoping real fast that comes up available again, just so I can quickly do it. There we go. Alright, last attempt. Alright, we're going to consider Cookie as best as we can, vetted. So Cookie can go get yourself some food. You are now a cook again, despite my deep concern of that going poorly. But we can't have everyone starving. And you'll go grab that Steel Gladius when you're done there. And next up on the arrest list is going to be Groot's Twig. Or sorry, not Groot's, we've already arrested Groot's. Dragon Repairman. So it's time for you to get into the cell. Prisoner, interrogate. It hasn't updated to let me do it yet. Alright. You said it's not me? I know. That's fine. Yeah, so at this point, we've taken 2 risks. We've got a doctor back online, we've got a cook back online. But, you know, we don't really 100% know that they are safe. And that is if you get unlucky and you miss that draw and you have someone who is not safe doing the stuff around the town, then that will kill your colony. And I am aware of what time it is. I want to go ahead and get the handful of interrogations in on Dragon Repairman that I feel we can let them out. And then if we catch them in their metal horror and we deal with it, cool. If we don't catch the metal horror with them, and it gets down to the next person, then that'll probably be where we take it to the stopping point, because I do stream from 7 p.m. EST till about 4 a.m. EST, and it's after 4, but I would like to do that one way or the other first, because I'll just forget. I know I will forget where we were at with it, and so this is my way of dealing with it. Oh, I didn't mean to strip your clothes. My bad. I was trying to queue up another interrogate. Cool, we had amazing hospitality for him. That's good to hear. Alright. And we are trying to get our meals back in line, so that'll be good news. Okay. We have an exotic goods trader. Animal disease plague. Didn't we queue up that animal to be killed a while back? I guess not. Auto slaughter. Like, it would be nice to have alpacas at some point. Oh, you're already interrogating for me. Okay, so the interrogation came up empty a second time. Let's see. Actually, you can have my alpaca and give me the money. We got a little bit of bioferrite. I'm going to hold on to that, though. They've got components, which is nice. We're done with the multi-analyzer book. We do need a lung. I don't think I can make the money happen for it. I think we'll just go with what we got for right now. Alright. So, another thing that can be helpful is, for example, if we were to see gray flesh out here somewhere now, and it's been a while, that would all but clear Dragon Repairman's name. Like, if I found, you know, gray flesh down here, the chances of it going unnoticed for all that time would be negligible. I'm just gonna let that happen and ignore it. Good luck. Because I can't afford to get a bunch of injuries right now. Not while I've got a gray flesh issue going on. But there are sometimes they'll just win that fight by themselves. If they don't run into melee on... You know, if they don't take their ranged weapons into melee like they really like to do. Alright, so we've got 5 of them. Only 1 gun, 2 Molotovs. Honestly, as long as they don't just race right up into the melee ones and get stabbed to death, they probably have that fight. That should go relatively well for them. We can spectate. Because on this side, we got some heckin' weapons. See, this is always the issue. He should already be shooting. They're in range, you should stop moving. You're not going to cover. There's no cover. Open fire, friend. Luckily, this one of the chain shotgun stopped far enough back. He's just doing work. Nicely done, team. You can go ahead and take my bill. I'll have it in the mail for you. All right, could you be interrogated again yet? Not yet. Cool. Chain shotguns are pretty good. Oh yeah, no, chain shotguns, if you're looking for just raw damage, are basically one of the best things in the entire game. If you're going to be dealing with a colony where you're just trying to survive the most variety of things, having a group of chain shotguns right at the door of a place where people come in from is pretty close to as good as it gets. Because whatever it is steps in, and you can melt a good couple of them. Not that you can't be overwhelmed, it's just for raw damage output. Devour attack. That is not really... Okay, so Dragon, you've been pardoned. Let's get you out of here. Right now. Like, right now. The rest of you, I feel very not confident in this situation. 2 Devourers against 5 people. Can I draw them into the caravan? We're gonna try and draw them into the caravan. Because 2 Devourers against what I've got right now is not a winning strategy. Okay, so you're back at it. I need you to go grab your weapon right now, and I'm hoping you'll be able to grab it and get back to the rest of the group before the Devourers arrive. And normally, you don't need to be with me, but in this particular case, Darth, I do not want you by yourself. Okay, so here's the plan. Everybody, get out of here. Let the Devourers close in. We're going to let them jump on our guests and do everything in our power to save our guests after the fact. That is not... Please cross paths. If you cross paths, I could still work with this. If you don't cross paths, that would be bad. Okay, so you are going to cross paths. It went after the Muffalo. Digesting the cat. Please don't light fires in my base. Oh, thank you. Where's the other one? Don't break my stuff. Oh, come on, don't do that. No, I can't repair half this stuff. Darth Strider. I really shouldn't do this. But, this is a terrible idea. That thing is 100% going to be the death of my colony. Alright, go capture the Devourer. And we'll figure it out on the other side. Alright, well now it's going to be 4 on a Devourer. Oh, Devourer's coming our way. No, it's not. I'm wrong. Now it's 2 or 3 on a Devourer. Okay, so we did tag it. Oh, Sentient Cookie's going right in for it. Alright, so Conrite. You all need to close ranks. It's gonna jump on Sentient Cookie. Get on top of there as fast as you can. Start opening up. Come on. Knock it down. Sentient Cookie is actively being eaten alive. The good news is Sentient Cookie's in really good armor. So actually Sentient Cookie walked away with just some minor burns. So how much containment do you require to keep? Minimum containment 90, and you're at 74. All right, yeah, we need to not take these. I want them because there's so much good they can give me, but no, this is a bad time. So you went to grab that one. Forget about it. You don't want it. Go over here, and you finish that one off. Hopefully it's down. You tend to use them in mountain bases? Yeah, oh, sorry. I've been keep snoozing the ad again and again, trying to get this. It's fine. We'll deal with the Devourer raid, and the timing sucks. If the timing sucks, it's whatever. Not a whole lot I can do about it. Okay, so you finished the job. That's fine. Okay, and you finished the job, so that's fine. Alright, so we're just gonna go with what we've got. We're not gonna worry about trying to interrogate anyone anymore. I'm going to go on the assumption everything's fine, but for right now, we are not going to let Conrite be a doctor unless things get dire. That's how I'm gonna approach the gray flesh. I am gonna assume it was one of our guests, but we have verified one of our doctors and our cook. Well, not verified. We have interrogated one of our doctors and one of our cooks as best we can, and either we're going to have done a good job and that's fine and it's not here anymore, or if it is here anymore, it will most likely be one of these two. And realistically, that means it'll be both. It could be Dragon, which would be fine, because Dragon doesn't have much of an opportunity to spread to anyone, so... Eventually. So we're basically just going to hang out till the next instance of Gray Flesh and all that. and we can go from there. Why are you so angry? Was imprisoned. Get over it. I mean, I'm sorry. Entity escape, site stealer. Fine. Grab the handful of people who can do anything about that. Alright, gray flesh. So Sentient Cookie found gray flesh. And unfortunately, that was literally on the route we were just at. So that is information. We do know that someone here has it. That is the new information we have. It is in fact definitely someone here is the one who has it. Okay, the backups arrived. Nicely done. So that is worrisome though, because it does mean someone has it. We don't know who it is. And unfortunately, this location doesn't really give me confidence on who has it one way or the other. It still has a long list of people it could be. So we've just got to try and limit infection as much as we can until the next one. Because I believe we need 3 of these before we can start cutting people open to see. Alright, so we finished analyzing the gray flesh sample. The sample carried the biosignature Soldine 3V. Grootstreak has made project of learning the identity of biosignature in living subjects, but needs more samples to complete the work. Until then, surgical inspections will not detect Soldine 3V. Collect more gray flesh samples. Oh, you didn't finish treating it? Is it gonna live? Look how badly you left it injured. Pretty terrible, actually. What are you doing that you didn't finish that? Oh, you need to play poker, I understand. Okay. So over here, unfortunately, that does mean... I'm guessing it's Darth. I think it might be Darth. Which means, realistically, it's also Conrad. Like, at this point, because we've already vetted you... Well, we've already hit you two pretty hard. The odds are in favor of it being the both of them. It's more likely to be both Darth and Conrad than it is to be Dragon. Because if either of them have it, then they both probably have it. Since they are a couple. Did you still not bandage it? No, you got it. Okay. Alright. So, it's a good thing that we took Conrad off of doctoring. Because right now, we're at a 60-something% chance they would have spread the infection. Oh, that's Exodus Empire. We don't care about that. Alright, though. With that said, chat, unfortunately, it is getting to be pretty late. I did say we were going to stop when we finished interrogating them, but then we had the Devourer attack or whatever. For those who missed, we did detect another instance of gray flesh over here, which sadly came right as we finished a fight right in that area, considering there's that up there and that down there. If I went back, we might be able to rule someone out on that one. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying that close attention. So I feel fairly good that Sentient Cookie and Grootstwig are not infected. That said, out of the 3 people who could still be infected, Conrad, Dragon, and Darth. Well, actually, I guess technically 4 with Kalari Star, but I'm guessing kids can't be. I mean, they can get infected. I don't know. Probably can. But the point is, the odds are in favor of these 2 being infected as a couple, which means it's good that they're not Doctor, and that Darth could interrogate everyone forever and would just lie about it if they're infected. So we're not going to bother locking anyone up or interrogating them. We're just going to try and ride it out until we reach the point that we get that 3rd instance of gray flesh, and then we're going to start going through anyone we didn't already interrogate and one by one do invasive surgery to try and identify them. But that'll be for next time, which will probably be tomorrow, most likely be tomorrow, because we did finish Core Keeper today. I don't think that we're going to we're going to be ready for the next Coral Island thing. I'm going to do one last Coral Island stream to hit S rank, but I'm going to line everything up in advance so that it is guaranteed to be one more. Like, I'm going to leave everything one step from done, and then we'll just wrap it up. Calaria Star, in fact, that is also, like, it could very well be a possibility that it could be Calaria Star or Dragon. The good news is if it's either of them, neither of them can do the things that would spread infection easily. So that would be the good news, because it means I'd have one colonist with the Metal Horror. But yeah, so next time we get to see who has the Metal Horror. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching over on YouTube, the stream will be ending abruptly for you because there's no such thing as raiding. If you're over here on Twitch, we are going to go raid out and find someone else who makes good content. In the meantime, and you want to grab that raid message as well. In the meantime, if you have enjoyed tonight's content and you're not already following the channel, don't forget to drop your follow on the channel. That way you can find your way back here